Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Naaman with the DC Camp branch of Great Millstone, back for another video. But first and foremost, call for Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kahawadash. And once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways. Also post numerous videos, all right, that go out over the various sites, all right, and we do this for your learning, all right. So what we have here is for those of you who wondered, well, hold on. Sorry about that. Well, aren't we supposed to have a congressional black caucus? And like, what the hell are they doing for us? Well, this is going to answer your question. It's something that we've always known in the spirit, but it's good to see this written. All right, so she's going to go into that, and I'm just going to, by and large, let this play. And just remember, for those of you all that put your faith in this wicked ass system, what do you expect? All right, this is why we bring out all these scriptures that we bring out. All right, why do you have faith in this place? This is not our rest. We're just passing through as pilgrims. You're supposed to have that mindset. All right, Isaiah 51 and 14. All right, the captive exile, which we are, all right, hasteneth to be loosed. Remember that.
Shockingly enough, the name
Salakia, I always almost forget. I get this off from the top. This is the copyright disclaimer. All right, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use. All right, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use, because I have no intent of profiting off of this. So here we go.
Nation published an article revealing a little secret about the Congressional Black Caucus. Now, it's not a secret to me and probably to some of you as well, but they really put the Congressional Black Caucus on blast. They are talking about the CBC's silence when it comes to Israel. And if you're wondering why that is, you only have to do is just follow the money here. If you look at Jim Clyburn, for example, I point him out because he's one of the more
Salakia for the buffering there.
accepting AIPAC's endorsement and money, CBC members are to use the raising $4.6 million for them and another $3.5 million for Black Democratic candidates. By accepting AIPAC's endorsement and money, CBC members are to use the biblical term of phrase, selling their birthright for a mess of pottage.
Now, why do you suppose they selected that exact quote from Genesis 25th chapter? They just told on themselves and making a mockery of Jake because what? They want that birthright back. They're telling you in your face, but how many of you would catch that? let's go to where they're talking about. This is the birth. This is Abraham's death at the top. All right. And it goes on down to where Rebecca was complaining. All right. Says the birth of Esau and Jacob. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. All right. And Isaac was 40 years old. All right. When he took Rebecca to wife, the daughter, all right, all right, of Bethuel, the Syrian of Paddan Aram, all right, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. All right, these are his, all right, his kin, all right, where it says bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, that's what it's talking about, all right. And Isaac entreated the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, for his wife, because she was barren, and the Most High was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. All right? And it goes on down here, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? All right? And she went to inquire of the Most High. And the Most High said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, for you people. All right? 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. All right? And one people shall be stronger than the other. All right? And the elder shall serve the younger. Continuing on. And when the days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red, all right, all over like an hairy garment. It's metaphor. And they called his name Esau because he looked like what? When you go to Exodus 25 and 5, where it talks about dyeing certain garments red, he's making a comparison, all right? And after that came his brother, all right, and his hand took, now you notice here, in his hand took hold on Esau's heel, all right, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So you notice it doesn't mention how Jacob looked, because he looked like everybody else. Esau came out with no pigment. Who are these people today? So here you're seeing the progenitor of the so-called white race. All right, that's Esau, and his descendants are Edom, which translates to red people. Adam. All right, not Adam, as they try to say, these slick bastards that they are. No, it's Adam, not Adama. All right, which means of the ground. All right, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Clue. And Jacob was a plain man. And when we get into that plain, what are we talking about? I always say we're not talking about like Urkel, right? The character. Usually morally pious. All right, meaning he's trying to be righteous. All right, specifically gentle, dear, coupled together, perfect, plain, undefiled, upright. Which goes to how he portrays Jake today. Is it any wonder as to why? See, this is all connected, going way back when. So through the music industry, through his literature, through his Hollyweird, his news, all of this, Jacob is portrayed as what? The exact opposite of here. Where in actuality, he's The crooked motherfucker. All right. So that's what's been going on, because when you go to chapter 27 here, starting at verse 38 through 41, it tells you, all right, what his plans were for us, for Jacob, after Isaac died. All right, so let's go back. So these people have sold out. I just want you to let you know about why they chose that specific phrase here. All right, because that's a hit at Jake. They know who they are. They just let you know. All right.
AIPAC readily sets aside the political concerns of the CPC in its efforts, spending lavishly on campaigns for GOP members of Congress, targeting measures on racial equality, which totaled more than 17 million in 2023 and 2024 cycle. AIPAC, together with its two political action committees, AIPAC, PAC, and United Democracy Project, has one purpose: defending Israel at all costs. We support the candidates based on one criteria: their commitment to strengthening the.
Not us, not Jake, who some foolishly believe in these people. Now do you get it? I hope everybody copies this, finds this. I'll see if I can and post it in the link when I upload the video. This is something to arm yourselves with. So when these bastards come around asking for your support, hit them with this.
U.S.-Israel relationship.
Excuse me. We call them what they are: sellouts.
Pause here and I'll pick back up. Israel has control over the Congressional Black Caucus. The Congressional Black Caucus takes trips to Israel. They put Israel first as well. That's why you don't see them do anything for Black people. They're just there in representation only. Okay? So all these puppets, Jim Clyburn, Bakari Sellers when he was there, but all these puppets like him, Cory Booker, etc., that march up and down the street and tell you about civil rights. Cory Booker was just on I've Had It podcast talking about civil rights and among other things. All of these politicians that do that are selling you out to a genocidal state. You can't say I agree with civil rights in America, but you don't agree with civil rights abroad. And they're accepting the lobby interest money for it too. If we go on further here, you'll see the single issue litmus test means that the CBC is now beholden to a group that is far more concerned with the state of Israel than it is with the caucus's core mission. The CBC's silence not only damages its credibility, but also jeopardizes its ability to advocate for the interests of Black Americans, many of whom recognize an ethno-nationalist campaign to eliminate a people. They go on to talk about Cori Bush. Let's fast forward here. They bring up Jamal Bowman, right? How AIPAC came after Cori Bush, and then they came after Jamal Bowman. And you notice how silent members of the Congressional Black Caucus were, right? Bowman learned the cost of speaking the truth to spending power of AIPAC. When you go against one of their pieces of legislation, depending on what it is, they'll email you, relentlessly call you, relentlessly protest outside your office, and stop you from even being able to do your job. Excuse me. Why are Black politicians getting in line and on board with Israel? Why are Black politicians aligning with people who are expelling people, killing people, who want an ethno-supremacist state? Why are they doing that?
Who initiated and funded the transatlantic slave trade? I wonder why. And who stole our identity? Wow. tell people like that, oh man, you tripping. That's a conspiracy theory. And yet you don't do the necessary research and work to find these things out. Now I'm talking about the idiots out there that that are so caught up in America and in this system. The 2/3. Because that's what you are. You can't see beyond this. You need this. America is you want it, you long for it, you wow. These are people that we gotta stay away from. They are our enemies. These are the ones that are going when the time comes. Alright? These are the ones thinking they're gonna save their ass, or they want those buttered biscuits. Come after us. No new thing under the sun, right? Ecclesiastes 1:9. Because they love their slave master. They love him. They worship him.
Money, corruption, and greed. Right? So we know what happened to Jamal Bowman. They got him out of there. They got Cori Bush out of there.
But wait, I thought they said it was Russia. I thought they said it was China that was involved in our elections. But it's Israel. It's a damn shame, though, the cowardice that we're seeing. All these sellouts, but in particular, the CBC. The so-called Congressional Black Caucus. But they're for everyone except for what the name says they're for. Wow.
And they put in Wesley Bell, someone who was going to shuck and jive for them, to be a part of that. Let's fast forward to the here we go. The Jesse Jackson part. So this is Jesse Jackson back in the day. I want to give you guys a little bit of historical context because I think that this is important.
Here we go.
Check this out. The Israel lobby support for black lawmakers has always rested on their uncritical backing of Israel. January 30th, 1972, Representative Charles Diggs, chair of what was then a 13-member caucus, announced plans for a national black political convention to take place in March 10th through 12th in Gary, Indiana, to identify and ratify a national black political agenda for 1972 and beyond. Wait for this. More than 10,000 Black Americans, Black nationalists, intellectuals, civil rights groups, and the CBC met in Gary and published a 55-page national Black agenda. Debate swirled around
Gary, Indiana. Oh, the Jacksons, right? All right. Joe Jackson and the crew. Michael, Tito, all right. Jermaine, all them. Jacksons, right? So they looked like they were about something. 10,000 nationalists, intellectuals, civil rights groups. All right? So they looked like they were, they were about business. Check this out.
Around several measures considered for the platform, including economic empowerment, the possible formation of a third party representing Black Americans, and whether the agenda should endorse busing to achieve integration in public schools. So as much as we talk about third parties now, they were talking about that back then. So it's not a new topic. right?
3 years ago.
Wait till you see what happened. Let's continue on here. But the contentious debate devolved into irreparable rupture when it came to the question of Israel and Palestine. Black nationalists demanded a resolution to cut U.S. aid to Israel, return Palestinian lands, and affirm Palestinian self-determination. But members of the Congressional Black Caucus recoiled. Facing pressure from Jewish organizations, the CBC denounced the resolution, affirmed its support for Israel.
Because of pressure from them folks. This was 72, mind you.
And refused to endorse the national Black agenda. Instead, the caucus drafted its own platform, which plotted a decidedly moderate course, especially in foreign policy. 1 year after its inception, the CBC chose alliance with the Israel lobby over the support for Palestinians advocated by politically independent pro-Black organizations, a choice that continues to define CBC's politics today.
I wonder who was behind. Well, you don't have to wonder, it just told you. I wonder how much money was spread about. And you wonder why we can't get shit done. Yes, it's the curses ultimately. This is the Most High's doing. Because this place was not meant for us. Point blank, period. Trying to get that into you all's heads. For those of you that don't get it yet. You want to remain here, this is going to continue to happen.
So you see, this goes all the way back to the 70s. And when you see people like, you see the Cory Bookers, you see the Bakari Sellers, the Hakeem Jeffries, like the Congressional Black Caucus, when you see them, you need to understand they are not there to do anything for the Black community. They already made a vow that they are going to be there for Israel first. I say it's high time we got to kick these puppets out. We need people there that are going to represent the grassroots.
Isn't that some shit? Think about it. With all your people have been through, and these ish motherfuckers are ultimately behind it. They manage to corrupt people who are supposed to be representing you. And they end up backing the very people that are responsible for bringing you over here. Wow. Now, that's some hate for your ass. See, that's why we need things like this for this information. Although it's way too late in the game now. This would have been helpful maybe like 30, 35 years ago. But again, this goes to what? This is why it didn't come out then, because, all right, this is meant to be. This place is done. All right, the people that are waking up were meant to. The people that are not were not meant to. Just that simple.
So what that means is, I am so tired of seeing the Stanford graduates. Cory Booker went to Stanford, the Yale, the Princeton, these people got to go. The only way that you fundamentally see this type of change, I think, number one, you have to get corporate money out of electoral politics. It's just got to go. The big money interests, the lobby groups, it's got to go. Two, you need people in there that are grassroots. And I mean grassroots and from the grassroots, not I graduated from Princeton, but I moved to a low-income neighborhood grassroots. That's what you need. But the Congressional Black Caucus, how silent they have been since the genocide.
It's amazing how they set Obama up and you people fell for it. He's not even your people. He's not even our people. This whole thing is not meant for us, period. You know, Isaiah chapter 30 and 31. This is what you get for uh, relying and depending on your oppressor. He's your oppressor. He's never going to be right. Let's get songs. One of my favorites here in describing this piece of shit. All right, this is Psalm 43:1. It says, "Judge me, O Most High, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation. All right, oh, deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man." So by that, how could you ever hope to get any justice from something like this? Let's get another one. It's Ecclesiastes, in fact, 2. There's Ecclesiastes 1 and 15. It says, kind of sensitive, hold on. That which is crooked cannot be made straight. And that which is wanting cannot be numbered. All right, let's get the other one. It's Ecclesiastes 7 and 13. Consider the work of the Most High, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? They are the wicked. All right. Here's another one. All right. They are the wicked. The Lord's love for Israel, Yasharallah, not Edom. Most High hates Edom. All right, verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Most High, the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. You see all this, the gentrification and all this, especially here in D.C. where I am, and there's other cities, all right? And they shall call them the border of wickedness, because wherever they go, this is what you have. They even try to tell the locals how to pee, because if they don't do it the way that they want them to do it, that they think they should do it, well, no, you're a savage, you're primitive. Then pretty soon they're going to have you switching genders and all kinds of other wild shit. This is who they are, the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Most High hath indignation forever. Let's look up that indignation. What does that mean? To foam at the mouth, that is, to be enraged, abhor, angry. This is what the Most High feels about these people. The Europeans, the Edomites, the, so-called white people.
Genocide. It is very telling, and it exposes some things, and it reminds me of something else I want to bring up. When you see the way the Ethiopians in Israel sign up to kill Palestinians, even though they are racially discriminated against as well, the Israelis are very racist towards them too. They're just not treating them as badly as they treat the Palestinians. They sterilize some Ethiopian women against their will and shit like that. But they're not bombing their homes and stuff. When you see the Ethiopians.
But see, before she finishes, let me get this. Let me see if I remember the name right. Because you got to look at those Palestinians and how they treat people such as ourselves. Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, Abid means servant or slave. All right. Al-Abid can refer to Bagayir al-Abid, I guess I said it right, Palestinian community in Masafer Yatta, or it can be referred to reference to Al-Jalaa neighborhood in Gaza City, known historically as Al-Abid due to the history of slavery and the presence of Afro-Palestinians, which they do not show you. I wonder why. The Arabic word Abid or Abid itself means servant or slave and has become a controversial slur due to its racist connotations. Here are some right here. Afro. As soon as it loads, I apologize. This is from 2008. Look at that. They got candies named after them. Same. Wait a minute. Didn't Esau over here have, what was it, nigger heads or some shit, some candies or shit like that? The same thing is going on over there. Yeah, how about that?
In Israel, sign up, join up the IDF to kill these Palestinian people. They do so because they're just glad it's not happening to them. They sign on to align themselves with the racist, genocidal, supremacist state of Israel, the Israelis. They align themselves with them to kill the oppressed people so that they don't become the oppressed people. This is the crazy part about all of this, but this is exactly what is happening. It's like they are looking down on another group while the group at the top is looking down on both of them.
See, this is the poison that is white supremacy. I often make the comment about or I should pose as a question really, what is the largest religion in the world? And it's white supremacy. And as she's describing, these people are eager to jump on board and participate. Why? Because they have an opportunity for themselves not to be the having it directed at them. That's some sick shit. Just as people come over here, other ethnic groups, and we serve as the buffer group, so these other groups that come over here don't suffer the wrath of the so-called white man. So they all participate, all right, in racism against us. Yeah.
But they don't want to get too much heat, so let me look down on that other group too.
Yep.
Now you got a whole Congressional Black Caucus that is willing to put aside what it was originally designed to do and to put Israel first and to make sure that is the first order of concern. And they are also willing, like the Ethiopians in Israel, to look down on an entire group of people who are oppressed because they're just glad that Israel is not doing it to them. This is a problem.
Hey, let's review this best-selling natural remedies book together. Look at this blood sugar page.
So it goes back to the whole black faces in high places thing. This is a problem. I don't want to hear Jim Clyburn talk about how he marched, he helped with civil rights, how he was a progressive, how he did. I don't want to hear it. Save those stories for somebody who gives a damn, okay? Maybe you can write a book in the future to talk about a time when I actually did shit. I don't want to hear it. Cory Booker, I don't want to hear this story again about your damn parents who couldn't buy a house in New Jersey. And so the white friend came and said, I'm buying the house, and he got the house for your parent. I don't want to hear this story no more. Stop.
Who gives a shit?
Don't want to hear it. Hakeem Jeffries, his whole damn family know exactly what the Palestinian people have been going through. And so did Hakeem Jeffries, but he sold out as well. for a career in politics.
Look like he high all the time.
So, and at the point when you would turn away from your own uncle to get that career. When you see some of those faces, as we call them, black faces in high places, you need to start asking questions about how they got there, who they screwed over to get what they get. Because like I said, they don't put you there just because you're smart. They don't put you there because you're nice, or they just like your smile. It's who they stepped on, it's who they're stepping on, and who they're willing to align with. And all these people got to go. Cory Booker got to go. Hakeem Jeffries need to go, and his old tired robot ass, he got to go. Jim Clyburn, you need to go. Who's the other one? Maxine, you need to go ahead and retire yesterday.
On Esther.
We cannot sit here. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you, Cory Booker, none of them talk about police brutality, talk about voting rights for black people. I don't want to hear it. These are just talking points to get reelected. And at the end of the day, you are siding with the oppressor. So don't come over here and talk about the police state here in America and the impact on the black community when you support the police state in Israel against the Palestinian people. Don't want to hear it. That article by The Nation, Eric, can you put the link to that article in the chat? So people can read it. It's a long article, so people can read it on their own as well. I want everybody to remember this. When they come and speak to you, when they come to your town, some of them are probably going to try to run for president in 2028. I want everyone to remember this. They have basically been gatekeepers. The Congressional Black Caucus has become a gatekeeping group of just a bunch of black folk that are pro-Israel. And that's it. Nothing else. Nothing more. That's all you are. Y'all just sitting up there holding up seats. And that's what we need to call it. And some people are going to come to you and they're going to tell you, well, this is all we got. Don't ever believe that. There are many people out there that could be so much better. So much better. You can see it here. This is a reminder. This was Bakari Sellers at an AIPAC event. Check this out.
There are some issues that rise above partisan politics, where the stakes are simply too high not to work together. The three of us come from different parts of the country. We come from different political parties, and we connect with different communities. And while we knew one another prior to our work with AIPAC, it is because of AIPAC that our friendships have deepened.
Sellouts on the damn stage. On the damn stage. Bakari Sellers and these other two clowns. Because no, you can't. You can't side with Israel. You can't sit up here and agree with them and then come back home to the black community and tell black people, yeah, you know, we got to fight back against da-da-da-da-da. It's a problem. It's been a problem. I think I'll be honest, I think some of the white liberals have been very hesitant to call out Cory, Hakeem, Clyde.
And let's be real. They're playing the same game. I hate to bring them up, but Malcolm X told you about that. The fox and the wolf. All right. These liberals, they're about white supremacy, so-called, too. They're just more slick about it. All right. They're actually the more dangerous of the two. But for some reason, you know, I think a few more of our people have woken up, you know, but clearly not enough. And let's face it, it's way too late in this so-called game.
Burn in them, because I think they kind of feel like, well, if I call them out, then they're black congressmen. If I call them out, it might be a big, So some of the white liberals, they've been kind of hesitant. They see what I see too, but they've been kind of hesitant. It's like, oh, I won't go after him. Let me go after one of the white. Let me go after one of the white Congress members, because I don't want to go after one of the black ones. And I applaud the nation for writing that article, because, by the way, that needs to be seen by everybody. Everybody. They need to see it. Cause for reals, like you just can't you can't get no. And then they pick who your hero is going to be for you. You know that, right? They tell you this is your representation. The Clintons picked Kamala Harris, swooped her in for Senate. They knew the plans they had for her. They put her in front of black people and say, this is your representation. Barack Obama, this is your representation. Cory Booker, this is your representation. They tell you who is going to represent you. People need to start picking their own representation. That's how I see it. Yeah. Eartha said they're picking Newsom now. Exactly. See, there you go. There you go.
And he's related to Nancy Pelosi via marriage. I'm telling you, they all in on it.
Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you...
So there you go. I'm not gonna. But they're all in this. This is one big game for them. All right. Of course, at our expense. This is again, and I'll bring this back up again. This is why. The one I started with is Isaiah 51. You should be in this mindset. All right, 51 and 14. All right. The captive exile, which we are, hasteneth that he may be loose. What does it mean by hasteneth? All right. Fearful, hasty. All right. Speedily, straightway, suddenly. Make ready, make speed. All right, that he may be loose. You want to get the hell up out of here, and that he should not die in the pit. Now look at this over here where it says, literally one bowed down as a captive, which we are. All right. The scene is primarily Babylon in the time near the close of the captivity. Secondarily and antitypically, the mystical Babylon, or the daughter of Babylon, all right, the last enemy of Israel and the church, in which they have long suffered, but from which they are to be gloriously delivered. And that's talking about here. All right. All right. So look up, for our salvation is nigh. It's coming to that time when, all these events in the heavens, these celestial objects and everything, it's got this devil afraid. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. I love to see this motherfucker squirm. I love it. There's nothing he can do about it. That Hellfire missile incident against those UFOs, that scared the shit out of this devil. Because they couldn't do nothing to him. They just bounced off. I don't think they may have prevented those things from exploding. They just bounced off. They kept going. Just letting you know that nothing you have, all right, in your arsenal is going to prevent this ass kicking that's coming your way. All right, so with that, once again, this has been I hope whoever views this is edified. This has been the video. This is from Savage Sab's website. Congressional Black Caucus silence exposed. Why are they silent? Because they sold out. Who did they sell out to? The state of Israel. Those buttered biscuits. So there you go. So with that, once again, I like to advise everyone to remain circumspect out there. Keep your head on the swivel, especially in these times now. All right, it's like someone I knew, like quarter century ago, he used to call these so-called white people evil mites, because he said these evil motherfuckers might do anything. All right, so and that's exactly right. So be aware of your surroundings. All right, so until the next video, shalom.